Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of VoiceUp Gone Digital. I'm Michael Ju and I'll be your host for today. Our guests today are two very talented students from RCHK. One who is a dedicated and passionate athlete with a promising future, and the other a chic and stylish artist who is a creative powerhouse. These two have decided to pursue a path in which their hearts led them to, and weren't afraid of taking the risk in devoting their high school career into something they truly believed in. Through their experience of dedicated diligence, they show us that you can do whatever it is you want to do, as long as you put your heart to it. So without further ado, our guests for our second episode are Stephanie Yim and Christy Yim.
I'm Christy, and we're both DP students from RCHK. I was born in Vancouver, Canada, but I moved back when I was a year old, so it really didn't make much of a difference. I studied at Yuchong International School before I came to RCHK.
Well, for me, I was born in Hong Kong and I grew up here with my family. As a child, I've always been studying in various international schools, including KCIS and YCIS. Right now, I'm studying in Renaissance College as a Year 12 IB student. I'm a very sporty and an outgoing person. Stephanie and I have been friends since year 6.
Which is 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years ago. And the first time we talked was when Stephanie and her friend approached myself and another new student when I was 10 years old. They were really friendly and asked if we wanted to eat lunch with them. We got to know each other more at school and soon we became best friends, and this friendship basically lasted up until now.
One thing for sure though, although we've been close friends for so many years, our dreams and aspirations are not necessarily the same.
Yeah, our dreams are actually completely different. Because I want to do good in sports and Stephanie wants to do good in art. Sports has always taken an important part in my life. It's able to balance my work and my leisure time. Playing basketball was able to improve my leadership skills, my confidence, my fitness, as well as my communication skills.
As for me, my dream is to pursue a career in communication design or something art-related. I feel like communication design is a subject that really suits me as a person or as an artist because I'm all about the colors, patterns, and typography. I feel like it is a form of expression, and in comparison to my other subjects, it gives me a chance to connect with both my emotions and my family and friends.
Even though we might not have similar dreams, dreams has always played an important part of our lives and even in our friendship.
For me and Yim, it was never easy pursuing a dream outside of the typical academic subjects at school, and there has been a lot of ups and downs.
So yeah, welcome to this episode of VoiceUp Gone Digital.
Since a young age, Christy and Stephanie has been extremely involved and keen on their respective fields of interest. In fact, their shared passion of committing themselves into their personal interests has become the foundation of their friendship. However, it was never that easy to begin with. So let's take a look at how their friendship affected their livelihoods, ambitions, and interests.
In all honesty, I've been interested in sports way before I came into RCHK. I started playing basketball when I was around 6 years old, where I started to approach this sport and became very passionate about it. When I was younger, I would wait for my brother outside the basketball court in SCAA after my gymnastics lesson, and I would observe how they would play, what the coaches would say, etc. And that was when I started to be interested in basketball. Other people may enjoy watching Korean dramas, playing music, or even surfing the internet, but whenever I have free time, I am just itching to grab a basketball and run down to the basketball court and start dribbling. Changing schools has always been a defining moment of my childhood, as I changed from KCIS to YCIS and then to RCHK. Back then, changing schools was a whole new experience for me. I had already been studying in KCIS for 6 years, therefore my friendship with the people there was very strong. However, even then, my parents, particularly my mom, was very supportive in what I did, and I continued to play basketball even after transitioning. My mom has always been a very strong, independent, and caring person who supported me in what I did and told me it was okay to do sports as long as I enjoyed it. I have had many primary friends who had to stop doing sports or art because their parents thought that it would affect their academic grades. But even then, my mom told me to follow my heart, and I think it's because of that I valued my mom's confidence, encouragement, and support for me. Even after changing schools, I continue to have the confidence to step on the basketball courts and play during my free time, even if there were adults or older secondary students. I managed to make new friends, and in time, changing schools was not an issue for me. I valued basketball not only as a sport, but also as a comrade that encouraged me and reminded me how there is no reason to be shy or scared because I'm not alone. I met Stephanie in year 6, the first year that I joined RCHK. She was extremely friendly as she welcomed myself and another new student to eat lunch together so we didn't have to feel left out. Ever since then, we've stuck with each other like bread and butter. At first, she was a bit shy, but over the years, it became really obvious that Stephanie matured, and much of the credit goes to her commitment towards art. In primary, whenever people think of Stephanie, they tend to think about her artwork as well. Stephanie's drawing skills improved a lot, and she was broadened her horizons in not just painting, but photography, digital design, and graffiti as well. I've always been amazed by Stephanie's paintings, sketches, even before I went into secondary school. When she told me she wanted to apply for an art scholarship, I was very confident that she would be able to get it because I know that she deserves it, so I'm very proud of her as well.
When I started oil painting classes at the age of 14, I met a lot of people who had the same passion as me. When I first started classes there, it was dreadful. Back then, I was never really good at art. I was basically forced to join classes because my skills were so bad, and I desperately wanted to improve. I was never really proud of my artwork, even though people gave me positive comments. But I feel like they were giving me positive comments for the sake of saying them because I don't know, like they just wanted to please me, I guess. As Yim said, I think that the reason why I was so shy was because I grew up in such a competitive environment. So I think like when I meet new people, I don't know, like I just enter this mode where I isolate myself from everything. I remember how I hated everyone because I was so jealous of them. I would cringe at telling people that I was passionate about art because I finally found out how bad I was at art. To be honest, when I applied for the art scholarship, I told everyone that it was a bet between me and my mom. And it was but like deep down, I actually wanted it so much. I never really told anyone about this, but my desire for the school to acknowledge my skills was so strong.
I was very supportive of Stephanie's decision to apply for an art scholarship because I know that she deserves it, and she has always loved art. Back then, not a lot of people were able to pull off what Stephanie did. Her art reflected not only her relationships with the people around her, but also helps us see the world from her lens, which is very intriguing. I think that her skills would definitely get her an art scholarship because if she couldn't make it, then who would? She has placed so much effort into it, and I'm sure everyone who knows her can see that as well.
Some of my friends were really supportive, but then I knew that some of them had really negative thoughts on it. They looked down at me because I was really dumb and I was never really a high achiever in grades. They thought that I'd never get it, and over time I felt that way too. But Yim was really supportive all along, and she was there for me when I was creating my art pieces, and she was there helping me prepare for the interviews. In all honesty, I'd say that most people look down on me or talk about me in a negative way because they know that my parents divorced when I was young. As a child, my relationship with my dad was never really tight at all. Even though when he was with us, I felt like he wasn't. He never really played with me or cared about me or even spoke to me. He treated me like I was invisible. And in the end, it just added stress to my mom and to me. And so the divorce took place. It does feel lonely at times, especially when my mom doubts my abilities to do art, and I see other people better off than I am. However, I accept that things as they are, and I try my best to move on.
Back when Stephanie told me she was getting a scholarship, I was quite worried that she would doubt herself. Stephanie was often considered shy and quiet, and she wouldn't participate much in class discussions. When we both decided to apply for the scholarship, I believe that we both helped each other and encouraged each other. I've always known about Stephanie's family issues, especially in these recent years where she always has arguments with her mother. I tried my best to comfort her and help her feel better.
To be honest, I don't know how I overcame my fears. I think it was because I started hanging out with people who had the same passion as me. My art teacher, Zoe, was really supportive of me. She was there for me all the time, like literally there. I could WhatsApp her at 3 a.m. and she would still reply. At that time period, I guess I spent most of my time outside of school at my art studio. I used to spend like, I think 10 hours on Saturdays and Sundays over there, not necessarily doing art, but having fun with my friends and talking to them. It was like my second home. I met a lot of people there, such as Samson, Karen, and Allison. We bonded over time and they started to talk to me about their own experiences, and they certainly helped me a lot. They were truly inspiring, and we often had deep talks during the middle of the night, and even now, even though we're like 5,000 miles apart, and they're currently at their college doing their college stuff, and I know that they are still here for me whenever I need them.
When I heard that Stephanie got the art scholarship, I was very happy for her and I felt extremely proud. Her ability to get a scholarship motivated me to apply for a sports scholarship once again, which I failed to get 2 years ago. Yes, just like Stephanie, I wanted to see if I could turn my passion into more than just a hobby. At school, Stephanie and I rarely get time in classes to play basketball or do art, because most subjects just focuses on sciences, world issues, etc. However, at RCHK, we are fortunate enough to get a scholarship for things that are outstanding to us, rather than just being a hobby. The scholarship gives us more opportunities to pursue our interests within school. More than anything, I wanted to play basketball and get support from my coaches to develop my skills in and out of school. When I applied once again in year 11, I was afraid that I would not get it once again. However, my family and friends were very supportive. Stephanie was here to tell me that I could do it and I should go for it. Therefore, I'm very thankful that I have such amazing friends and family to support me. One of my dreams is to always be happy, because being happy is extremely important to me, as I am an optimist and strive to see the good in everything. I want to always have a positive outlook at life, and I hope this attitude helps me manage my stress and allows me to feel life is an invaluable and rewarding experience. While I do not set impossible goals for myself, doing the best of my ability and always giving 110% effort is very important to me.
When Yim told me that she was applying again, I actually didn't do anything. Because honestly, I was too busy at that time with all the moderated assessments and stuff. However, knowing that we were close, I did wish her good luck, and like always, I would give her my moral support. It's lame, I know, but honestly, I couldn't imagine Yim failing her sports scholarship again, because she was already the leader of the basketball team, and she joined basketball teams outside of school just to show her passion and determination.
As scholars, both Christy and Stephanie are fully fledged role models in their respective interests. It obviously requires a lot of time and work, especially being diploma students preparing for college. However, with their determination and their strong friendship, they will definitely get around it, for the sake of their dreams and their future aspirations.
When I received the letter that I am now a sports scholar, I was so overwhelmed and was just too happy, because I knew that my parents were very proud of me. I understand that being a sports scholar means that I have more responsibilities than other students in the school, and that there is more stress compared to others. However, I am confident that I will be able to overcome these challenges and continue to work hard. One of my favorite quotes are, "If you want the rainbow, you have got to put up with the rain." I understand that if you want to achieve something, you must go through the process of working hard and putting a lot of effort into it. I keep myself motivated and committed to my dreams because I acknowledge that because I am now a sports scholar of RCHK, I take a role as a leader and someone to be looked up upon. Therefore, I try the best as I can academically, in the sports field, as well as in the CAS requirements. I keep myself motivated and committed to the dream of being happy by simply reminding myself every day that I deserve to be, and that when there is no pain, there is no gain. Even though Stephanie and I don't have similar career pathways, we're still very close, and we try to help each other whenever we can. A lot of people think that being friends means you have to have similar interests, goals, or aspirations, but I don't believe so. I mean, friendship is not dictated by what you do or the things you pursue. In fact, it is because of our bonds that we have confidence to reach greater heights.
Yeah, dreams are only achievable through actions and thoughts, but we can never get anywhere with pure solitude, can we? I can honestly say that I would never get to where I am without Yim's help, and I am thankful for it. As Emerson always says, always do what you are afraid to do. It might sound very hypocritical for me to say that, but then I think it is true. Like, I was so afraid of trying, so I just stayed there at the same point, basically for like forever, and I never improved. I think that you will only be successful if you step out of your own comfort zone. I know that it feels really safe and secure to be in your own comfort zone, but sometimes you just have to step out and experience the life outside it. I feel like I will never regret the choices I have made. I have learned to appreciate what I have now and to improve based on what I have. I realize that complaining won't help. Actions must be taken. Work for it. No pain, no gain, right?
Right now, both Stephanie and I are quite confident about our futures.
We know that IB is extremely hard and the workload would be crazy. However, we believe that as long as we try our best to study hard, contribute to our respective fields, that we would be able to graduate IB.
Not many people pursue art or sport-related subjects as a career or a dream. One issue that my parents raised is them being typical Asian parents comparing my grades with other people, which actually gave a lot of pressure to me as I felt somewhat less capable in academics.
Humans lead their own lives as individuals and pursue their own dreams as well. We should really treasure these moments, being around our classmates, college friends, and more, because it's the only time where we bond so closely with people who share common interests as we do.
Nobody can lean on themselves for their entire lives, which is why we really do need friends who can provide not just emotional support, but also encourage us to take the step and do the impossible. Rather than seeing them as a goal or a bar we must surpass, we must find friends who genuinely care about us and can tell us that we will make it and we will achieve our dreams.